Hello, everybody. 413 Sportstalk is on its 490th episode. Today is the last day of January, and the player evals continue. I hope you've been enjoying the player evals so far. Tried my best with those. Also, we have a little bit of news to talk about today as well, so let's get started with episode 490, shall we? Luka Doncic nets 53 points in a 111-105 win over the Detroit Pistons. I would like to think that his body of work this season has been good enough for him to be in top 3 for the 2023 NBA regular season MVP. He should win that hands down, right? Las Vegas Aces get better. They are stacked, and just days ago added star forward and former 2008 number 1 overall pick Candace Parker. She most recently spent 2 seasons with the Chicago Sky after spending her first 12 with the LA Sparks. Phil Mickelson back on social media, and already the lefty is feeling great about his chances this year as he prepares for his second season with LIV Golf, which tees off next month in Mexico City. Kyrie Irving on LeBron James respectfully quoted that he saw LBJ's dominance and knew this was going to happen way back when the two were together for a championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's pretty interesting. I thought something I wanted to bring up. Former New York Giant Eli Manning says that Daniel Jones has played well and deserves a new deal. He led his team to the first playoff berth since 2016 and was 7th in QBR with 60.7, posting his best season as a professional quarterback. Finally, Bubba Watson, eager to again get the season started and be a part of, be a part of the PGA Tour activities. Watson is among 6 former Masters champions who are now playing with LIV Golf and are suspended from participating in PGA Tour events. Watson said Tuesday that he'll sit wherever he's told as long as he can attend the annual tradition that is reserved for players who have worn green jackets. Hey, as long as I'm at the champions dinner, I'm fine, quote unquote. I'll sit wherever they tell me. I'm fine as long as I'm allowed back. That's it, pretty much. And that's it for the news. Let's talk NFL player evals and bring the show home. Today we have for you. With that being said, we started our third piece of the series today. We're talking my top 10 offensive tackles. These guys get paid big bucks to effectively keep their quarterback's jersey clean. Or that's how it's supposed to go. Anyways, these are the big guys on the end of the offensive line, the last line of defense before a defender sacks the quarterback. Some of these greats like Jonathan Ogden, Orlando Pace, and my guy Willie Nasty Rolfe of the Kansas City Chiefs hardly gave up sacks and worked hard their entire careers to ensure that they were Hall of Famers. Here are my top 10 guys, and who knows, maybe one of these guys might be a Hall of Famer one day. I want to add that this is a very polarizing group of guys. Some of these guys are going to be great. Some of them I'm going to catch hell for even having anywhere near a sniff of this list. So without further ado, number 10, I have Jalen Duncan out of Maryland. The tape is more up and down for him, honestly, from what I saw. More so than most other prospects, especially prospects with multiple years of starting experience. But the reason you'll see Duncan on so many top 10 offensive tackles lists, I'm not getting paid for this, is because the upside is worth banking on. And a little bit into that, out of all the tackles in the 2023 NFL Draft, Duncan is the most athletic, and that's the upside that you bank on. He has NFL frame at 6'6", 320, and yet he's incredibly light on his feet. Very athletic, can move very quickly. Impressive burst and recovery athleticism. He needs to drastically improve his hands. As you know, his hands, that kind of technique to stop the pass rushers from getting to the quarterback. However, the foundation is there, though, so with coaching, he will get better. Number 9, Blake Freeland out of BYU. Blake Freeland is one with his towering 6'8", 305 frame. Very, very few tackles fit the mold that Freeland does, and the mold that gives him rare power capacity, a trait only magnified by his high-end athleticism. This dude's a freak. Being as tall as he is, Freeland does struggle with pad level and gaining leverage. He doesn't have great hip flexibility to help counteract that issue, but with some technical work, he can blossom into an impact starter with converted top-end traits and be that off the bat. Number 8, Jordan Morgan out of Arizona. Jordan Morgan's 2022 season was unfortunately cut short by a torn ACL. The same injury complicates his decision to declare for the NFL draft. A decision that has yet to be made as of this typing. Morgan is a potential top 10 tackle in the waiting. Well, this Wildcats blocker is, still trending up the operational side, but he quietly has an enticing combination of physical tools. He's a well-built lineman, 6'8", 320, 6'6", 320, with solid proportions and knee bend, and you like the knee bend in a bigger guy like that. He's very freely moving, especially for someone his size. Number 7, Tyler Steen out of Alabama. Why is he this high or this low on the list? Hear me out. Alabama has a long and illustrious history when it comes to producing quality NFL offensive tackle talent. Tyler Steen likely won't be the first-round selection we've been accustomed to seeing from the Crimson Tide, but it's unlikely that we see him start games down the line. It's not unlikely that we see him start games in his rookie year. Steen has the NFL size and length at 6'5", 315, and complements it with impressive athleticism and foot speed off of the line. He can play with more control and more measured leverage at times, which you like, but the flashes of balance and hand usage are tantalizing for the developers that will be able to work with him. Starting to get close. Number 6, Matthew Bergeron out of Syracuse. Certain Springfield Central Golden Eagle is going to Syracuse as well. Is probably going to fill that spot. We won't mention any names. Anyway, Matthew Bergeron, a few tackles, went through a greater gauntlet than Syracuse's Matthew Bergeron this season. The Orange offensive tackle played 3 potential first-round picks in Miles Murphy, Jared Verse, and Isaiah Foskey. 3 guys that I really like, and I'm high on all of them, by the way. And while he didn't emerge unscathed, he showed off his potential, which was through the roof. Hailing from Canada, Bergeron has some of the most enticing short area athleticism of any 2023 NFL draft prospect in this group. You don't often get to call tackles energetic movers, but that's exactly what I see him as. He can get stronger and be more disciplined with his technique, but you really can't match anyone else with him. Number 5, Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. From what I first saw, people had an early ground rate on Darnell Wright heading into the season. Second round, first round maybe. He did nothing but validate that grade over the course of the year. He's now a potential top 5 tackle and arguably the best natural right tackle in the 2023 draft. A former 5-star recruit, Wright is a gargantuan spectacle, 6'6", 335. He almost looks impossibly big for a human. And when you watch him move, use violent, calculated hands, and torque defenders into submission, he can look down the right side of the net. He can lock down the right side. At the next level. I'm getting excited because these guys are wild. Number 4, Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. The discussion about Pete will remain fascinating throughout the entirety of this year's draft. He's a top collegiate performer and a pedigree of success and has more than enough athleticism, but his size profile has been more of a source of polarization. Hey, there goes that word. Skoronski's lacking length does visibly limit his power capacity and is not always an easy thing to counteract against larger defenders, which he should probably just be moved inside when he makes it in the NFL, honestly. But hey. His ability to stay leveraged and so consistently is very rare coming out of college, and his smooth footwork enables him to always have a steady platform. He could be a solid starter at multiple spots going down the line. Number 3, Broderick Jones out of Georgia. Another Georgia product. BJ was an early candidate to take a leap across the 2022 campaign while he doesn't undergo enough refinement as desired. But he did show more than enough solidarity, more than enough to solidify his place as a potential first-round offensive tackle this year, with his play this year. Another tackle with 5-star pedigree, Jones has all the tools. He's 6'4", 315, sports a unique combination of natural leverage and proportional length. On top of that, Jones is an explosive in space, strong at the point of attack, and a relentless finisher. You love those relentless finishers. Number 2, Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma. This is another one, a preference between the 2-1 guys. These guys are both potential first-round picks. Most likely will go in the first round. Anton Harrison is consistently listed as a top 5 offensive tackle, and yet he still might be a bit underrated in the eyes of the consensus. In our latest top 10 offensive tackles list, Harrison comes in as the second-rated blocker, an endorsement of his high-level tape that showed us in 2022. And that is it. For some reason, the other part of my list was cut off. So, Anton Harrison is going to be for now the number 1. We're freestyling this a little bit. But we will get back to you guys and let you know who the number 1 tackle was, because I got to go back and excuse me, check out my notebook. But anyway, that is it for episode 490 of 413 Sports Talk. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked the news, the list. We are looking to continue to bring you guys a good product, better product. Yeah, just hope everybody's all well. We're freestyling this a little bit. Sorry, because part of the episode got cut off. Hope you understand. Either way, love you all. Wishing you health, wealth, and success. Episode 491 will be yours tomorrow. See ya.